Louise, I'm gonna start with you. I know that there's several different things that you all have been doing on there, major programs underway, and give you the platform here to describe one of those.
Sure, thanks. So I think the one that I'm gonna talk about is online passport renewal, or OPR as we call it.
Hmm.
Um, when I first got into this position, online passport renewal, the pilot, the first pilot, it actually was in flight. I actually had renewed my passport using that pilot at my previous job when I was at DHS. And when I got into consular affairs, there was we had some issues that were going on with that existing pilot. And so about I think it was March of 23, we paused it to take a look and figure out what's another approach on how we're going to address, how we can deliver online passport renewal, which was the goal of the pilot, to make the actual process paperless. And in order for us to do that, what we had to do was actually take a look at the entire problem and figure out, okay, how can we actually produce an actual product that is actually going to be able to deliver that capability, but avoid some of the issues that came up with the previous version. So what we did is we stood up a product team that I was actually comprised of the entire organization that I run, which is Consular Systems and Technology, all of the IT folks within the Bureau, but we also included the actual business unit as well. We actually incorporated a product owner from the passport team that actually came in, that actually stood up with us on our daily cadences calls, excuse me, and actually worked with us on developing the online passport renewal, the OPR. In addition to that, we also brought in external folks to actually help us as well. The U.S. Digital Services actually came in to assist us on actually developing the actual OPR that we launched last year. And as part of that process, as we stood up the product team, which was a pilot, the first time it had ever been done inside of CA, we also included and ensured that as we were rolling the capability out, that we were doing it iteratively. As we rolled out testing, we invited the public to come in and actually provide us feedback on the actual front end that was being presented to them. And as we got that feedback, we would make iterative adjustments on the actual application itself. And then at the end, we ended up going into a phased approach of how we actually rolled it out, because there was a change management piece that we had to address on the back end with our passport adjudicators, where they were not impacted and their work was not affected. Because that was another thing with our previous version, was the year that rolled out was we had a lot of backlog in passports that year. So what we wanted to avoid was introducing any kind of friction or any kind of delay on our passport adjudicators on the back end. So by doing this phased approach, where we were actually doing a beta for approximately 3 months, where we were actually slowly allowing more and more applications to go through, number one, to validate that the actual system would be able to support the load, and number two, that we were not overloading the actual work on the back end. And we did that for a couple of months before we actually fully launched it in June. So the important thing, of course, was also ensuring, one, that we had the customer feedback from our customers that we're delivering online passport renewal to. Two is also ensuring that our back end customers were not impacted, and then also ensuring that we had a product owner that was from the business, that was embedded with us as we were developing this first iteration of online passport renewal. And that's the other key part, that as we developed this product, it was iterative. There are certain categories of renewals that we're allowing through this first iteration, and the next one is going to continue to expand those capabilities as we move forward.
So